Keanu Reeves is widely regarded as one of Hollywood's most fascinating, resilient, and universally beloved figures. Beyond his box office success, his life story is deeply marked by intense personal tragedy and a legendary reputation for humility and quiet philanthropy. Welcome to Documentary Time channel. As you know, we make documentaries about iconic people, so make sure you subscribe to keep getting these updates and these topics. Keanu Charles Reeves was born on September 2nd, 1964 in Beirut, Lebanon. His first name means cool breeze over the mountains in Hawaiian. His early childhood was highly transient. After his parents divorced when he was only 3 years old, his mother moved the family frequently. They lived briefly in Sydney, Australia, and New York City before finally settling down in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Growing up in Toronto, Keanu was a self-described lousy student who struggled with dyslexia, causing him to attend 4 different high schools in a span of 5 years. However, he excelled at sports, particularly ice hockey. As a skilled goaltender for the La Salle College, he earned the nickname The Wall and seriously considered playing for the Canadian Olympic hockey team before an injury, and a budding passion for acting shifted his path. His mother is Patricia Taylor. She is an English costume designer and performer who worked with major rock stars like Dolly Parton and Alice Cooper. She raised Keanu and his sisters largely as a single mother. His father is Samuel Nowlin Reeves Jr. He was an American geologist of Native Hawaiian, Chinese, English, Irish, and Portuguese descent. He walked out on the family when Keanu was 3, and their relationship remained permanently estranged. Samuel was later incarcerated in the 1990s for heroin trafficking and passed away in 2018. Keanu grew up in a tight-knit circle with his sisters. Kim Reeves. She is his maternal younger sister, born 1966. Keanu is famously close to Kim. Her decade-long battle with lymphatic leukemia deeply influenced Keanu's life and philanthropic focus. Karina Miller, his maternal half-sister, born 1976, from his mother's later marriage to Robert Miller. She is a film producer. Emma Reeves, his paternal half-sister, born 1980, from his father's later relationship, though they have not been close. Keanu began acting at age 9 in local theater productions. He made his screen debut in the Canadian sitcom Hand in 1984 and achieved his breakout Hollywood role playing the lovable, dim-witted slacker Ted Logan in the sci-fi comedy hits Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, 1989, and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, 1991. While critics initially pigeonholed him based on that goofy persona, Keanu continuously reinvented himself across multiple genres. He turned heads in the dark indie drama River's Edge in 1986, starred alongside his close friend River Phoenix in Shakespearean indie My Own Private Idaho in 1991, and played Jonathan Harker in Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992. He permanently transformed his career by starring in the high-octane thriller Speed in 1994, opposite Sandra Bullock. In 1999, he starred as Neo in the groundbreaking blockbuster The Matrix. The trilogy revolutionized cinematic visual effects and cemented him as a global superstar. After a period of quieter box office years, he made a massive comeback in 2014 with John Wick. Playing the lethal, grieving assassin, Keanu launched a massive multi-billion-dollar franchise that continues to dominate action cinema. How he directs his wealth. The rumor that Keanu Reeves gives almost all his earnings away stems from real, documented acts of profound generosity. He is famous for living below his means and viewing money as a tool to help others rather than a metric of personal status. When negotiating his back-end profit-sharing deals for The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, Keanu willingly signed away a massive portion of his profit points to the franchise's special effects and costume design teams. He felt their tireless, innovative work was the real reason the movies looked so incredible. This gesture was estimated to be worth between $31.5 million to $75 million, flowing directly to the crew. Additionally, he famously bought the entire stunt team custom Harley-Davidson motorcycles as a thank you gift. 2. The Secret Cancer Foundation. Prompted by his sister Kim's fierce battle with leukemia in the 1990s, Keanu secretly donated 70% of his original Matrix earnings directly to leukemia research. Furthermore, he established a private charitable foundation that quietly funds children's hospitals and cancer research centers. He explicitly refused to attach his name to it, stating in 2009, "I have a private foundation that's been running for 5 or 6 years, and it helps aid a couple of children's hospitals and cancer research. I don't like to attach my name to it. I just let the foundation do what it does." Keanu has repeatedly taken massive salary reductions to ensure a movie's production could afford to hire other legendary actors or retain crew members. He took a 90% pay cut on The Replacements, 2000, so the studio could afford Gene Hackman. He cut his salary by millions of dollars on The Devil's Advocate, 1997, so that the production budget could accommodate casting Al Pacino. Behind the scenes, Keanu is legendary for helping lower-income set workers. On the set of The Matrix, he found out a family friend working as a prop builder was experiencing extreme financial hardship. Keanu quietly gave him a $20,000 Christmas bonus to help clear his debts. He frequently buys lunches for the entire crew and bought his John Wick. Chapter 4 stunt team personalized engraved Rolex watches to honor their grueling physical work. Here is his completed filmography. 2026 outcome, Reef Hawk. In 2025, he released From the World of John Wick, or Ballerina John Wick. Also in 2025, he released Good Fortune Gabriel. In 2024, he played in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Shadow the Hedgehog as voice. In 2023, he released John Wick, Chapter 4 John Wick. In 2022, he played in DC League of Super Pets Batman as voice. In 2021, he played in The Matrix Resurrections as Neo or Thomas Anderson. In 2020, he played in the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run Sage. In 2020, he played in Bill and Ted Face the Music as Ted or Theodore Logan. In 2019, he played in Toy Story 4 Duke Kaboom as voice. Also in 2019, he released Always Be My Maybe Himself in fictionalized version. He also released John Wick, Chapter 3 or Parabellum John Wick in 2019. In 2018, he released replicas as Will Foster. Also in 2018, he released Destination Wedding as Frank. He also realized Siberia as Lucas Hill. In 2017, he played Into the Bone as Dr. William Beckham and released John Wick, Chapter 2 as John Wick. In 2016, he played in The Neon Demon as Hank, The Bad Batch as The Dream, The Whole Truth as Richard Ramsey, Keanu as Keanu's voice, Exposed as Detective Galvin. In 2015, he released Knock Knock as Evan Weber. In 2014, he released John Wick as John Wick. In 2013, he released 47 as Ronin Kai, Man of Tai Chi as Danaka Mark and also director. In 2012, he released Generation as John. In 2010, he released Henry's Crime as Henry Torna. In 2009, he released The Private Lives of Pippa Lee as Chris Nadeau. In 2008, he released The Day the Earth Stood Still as Klaatu, Street Kings as Detective Tom Ludlow. In 2006, he released The Lake House as Alex Weiler. In 2006, he released A Scanner as Darkly Bob Arctor. In 2005, he released Constantine as John Constantine, Thumbsucker as Dr. Perry Lyman. In 2003, he released Something's Gotta Give as Dr. Julian Mercer, The Matrix Revolutions as Neo, and The Matrix Reloaded also as Neo. In 2001, he released Hardball as Connor O'Neill and Sweet November as Nelson Moss. In 2000, he released The Gift as Donnie Barksdale, The Watcher as David Allen Griffin, and The Replacements as Shane Falco. In 1999, he released The Matrix as Neo or Thomas Anderson. In 1997, he released The Devil's Advocate AA, Kevin Lomax. In 1996, he released Feeling as Minnesota Jax Clayton and Chain Reaction as Eddie Kasalovich. In 1995, he released A Walk in the Clouds as Paul Sutton and Johnny Mnemonic as Johnny Mnemonic. In 1994, he released Officer as Jack Traven. In 1993, he released Little Buddha as Prince Siddhartha. Even Cowgirls Get the Blues as Julian Gitchie, Much Ado About Nothing as Don John, and Freaked as Ortiz the Dog Boy. In 1992, he released Bram Stoker's Dracula as Jonathan Harker. In 1991, he released My Own Private Idaho as Scott Favor, Bill in Ted's Bogus Journey as Ted Logan, Point Break as FBI Agent Johnny Utah. In 1990, he released Tune In Tomorrow as Martin Loder and I Love You to Death as Marlon James. In 1989, he released Parenthood as Todd Higgins and Bill in Ted's Excellent Adventure as Ted Logan. In 1988, he released Dangerous Liaisons as Le Chevalier Danceny, The Prince of Pennsylvania as Rupert Marchetta, Permanent Record as Chris Townsend, and The Night Before as Winston Connolly. In 1986, he released River's Edge as Matt, Babes in Toyland as Jack Nimble, and it was TV movie, Flying as Tommy Warnicki, Youngblood as Heaver, and Act of Vengeance as Buddy Martin, and it was also TV movie. In 1985, he starred in One Step Away as Ron Petrie, and it was short film. So we appreciate the efforts you used watching this video. But make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Bye-bye.